Alrighty, here is my week 4 project submission. Here we start with an array event called ages, and then we programmatically subtract the value of the first element in the array from the value in the last element of the array. And then we create a new array event called ages 2. We repeat the subtraction from step 1a, and then we will use a loop to iterate through the array and calculate the average age with a for loop. And then we create a new array of string, and then we calculate the average number of letters per name. So you'll see that the average of all the letters in the name of the array, or in the names array, is 3. And then we use a loop to iterate through the array again and consonate them together. So we have Sam, Tom, Tommy, Tim, Sally, Buck, Bob. And then this is how we access the last element of an array. This is how we access the first. This is how and then we create a new array of int called name lengths. And then we write a loop to iterate over the previously created names array and add the length of them to each name. So here we have 353543. And then we write a loop to calculate the average, or to calculate the sum of all the letters in the array. And then right here, we start to write methods. So here we have our first one where we're going to repeat a string a number of times. So I chose Eclipse 3 times. So it repeats the string right here. And then we have a method that takes 2 strings and returns a full name. So here we have first name and last name, Shannon Hornberger. And then number 9, we are going to take the array of int, and it'll return true if all of the sum, or like the sum of that array is greater than 100. So if we go back down to 9, you can see that it is true. And then number 10, we're writing a method that takes an array of double and returns the average of all the elements in the array. So if we go down to 10, we use a for each loop to find the average sum, and then we will find the result. So number 10 here is the answer is 45.71 blah, 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 blah. And then when we go to 11, we're going to write a method that takes 2 arrays of double that returns true if the average of the elements in the first array is greater than the average of the elements in the second array. So we go down to 11, you'll see the Boolean solution 11. This is where we were able to find the first sum, the average result, and then comparing the two. And you'll see down here that the answer is true. Then we go up to number 12. This is where we are calculating if it's too hot outside and if we have enough money in our pocket to buy a drink. So you can see all the work is done up here. And then it just returns if it's true. And the answer is true. And then for our last method, I calculated if we should go to the doctor. So we're going to find out if you're sick. And to do that is we have to know what your body temperature is. And it'll return if you are sick and if the body temperature is greater than 101 degrees. So you'll see here we have our temperature at 101.5, and then our if-else statement saying if we should go to the doctor. And you'll find at the bottom the answer is true. Thank you.